Push it right up to the close, I hope they know. Pull up, ride 'em, never changing lanes. Meditate and let it slow, self-control. They can hope but it won't stay the same. Push it right up to the close, I hope they know. Pull up, ride 'em, never changing lanes. Meditate and let it slow, don't overload. It's alright, so I just can't complain. Push it right up to the close, I hope they know. Pull up, ride 'em, never changing lanes. Meditate and let it slow, self-control. They can hope but it won't stay the same. Push it right up to the close, I hope they know. Pull up, ride 'em, never changing lanes. Meditate and let it slow, don't overload. It's alright, so I just can't complain.
What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray. This is Gray Area Anime. Matter of fact, let's do the intro like I normally do it. You feel me? What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray. And this is the most wonderful podcast of your day, Gray Area Anime. And I am back with another episode. What's good, people? How are y'all doing this week? Apparently last week I didn't even know I streamed on Wednesday, or thought I streamed on Wednesday, and nothing actually came through. So, dang. But what that does is leave me with a little bit of content to do today. I hope you all are doing great. If you're watching this over on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Gray Area Anime music and a couple of other things, but we'll get to those later on down the line. But you'll see us here every Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock. Oh, well, not all other times, but just hit the bell for the notifications and it'll configure to your place. So today, oh man, I'm here to talk about I'm here to talk about I didn't hit the button right. I'm here to talk about perfect timing. Great mangakas or great manga creators, which for some of you will be anime creators, I guess, in a certain way. Matter of fact, while you're here, guys, let's make this video that a little bit bigger. There we go. I wanted to talk about some of my favorite people. Some people that actually, I just wanted to talk about some really great manga creators. Some of them are my favorite people. And I'm just going to go through each and every one of them and kind of give like a little bit of breakdown to each one of them. And if there are some people I missed, make sure you leave them down in the comments. And on a future episode, we're going to talk about them because we ain't trying to leave nobody out. That ain't what we finna do. Also, what is that noise? I'm not sure. Only I can hear it. It is the fact that I just realized something. I can't go alone. It's too dangerous. I should take you, the audience, you out there. I should take you because I definitely choose you. You like what I did there? That is a theme of this channel. You always hear that it's dangerous to go alone, so I choose to go with you, the audience, the community, the otaku community. But anyway, make sure you leave your comments down there, and we're going to discuss or get in to the list. So, of course, number one, or not number one, this is in no particular order. But the first guy out of the bat is Akira Toriyama. Now, if you don't know who Akira Toriyama is, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but yeah. The creator of Dragon Ball Z, he's also lent his wonderful drawing style to the Dragon Quest series. He's just amazing. He's an animator that, he's a mangaka. And a lot of people copy his style because it was so innovative and so game changing for what it was. It was the leader. It was the top dog of all top dogs for a very long time. There were not very many mangas or animes that ever competed with it in its infancy when it was Dragon Ball, as you can see, which is the manga that's illustrated there, which is where it all started. It ran for a very, very long time, and it's one of the animes that kind of introduced me to the medium in a sense of learning a lot of different things in a lot of different phases of my life. So initially, when I first started watching Dragon Ball Z, I didn't get to watch a lot of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball came on, I think, like Fox Kids or something like that, and it was early in the morning. I'm not a morning person, not at all, which is why we do these things at noon. So as soon as I get done, it's lunchtime. But anyway, so I didn't get to watch a lot of Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball Z was my first foray into the series. And it was so exciting. It was the thing you ran home for to watch, that and Pokemon. You got out of school, you was like, hey, we got to get home. I got to watch this 12 episode epic of charging up. But yeah, it was something that was monumental to all of us. It was something that we're all here for. It's something that we were all waiting for, waiting to see, waiting to view. And these moments were so epic. Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time, and all these different things. But what really shifted my thoughts and kind of grew me a bit was learning how long Dragon Ball Z had been done and over with. Matter of fact, even GT had been over with before we ever got to see it. Because when we got stuff over here in America, because I wasn't just the most informed at the time, I wasn't the otaku that I am today. When you get something new, you assume that it's new. So when I was in middle school and we started to get to the Boo Saga and Super Saiyan 3 and all these different things, I was not aware that the manga and everything had been done for years, that the animation had been done for years. I think about maybe 10 years or something like that around that time. Maybe I could be a little bit off, but I didn't know that we were getting it, on the back end in terms of the sub dubbed or the dubbed things that we were getting onto now. Didn't know that about a lot of different animes. I just thought they were all new and just looked a little old or looked a little 90s, because that's all that we needed. But Akira Toriyama has always done something that I think is really great. I think that he structured what battle mangas are today. And though I realize that there's a difference between the manga and the animes, especially so today, because what used to be was the animators would drag things out a bit. And you can see that in the powering up. I don't know that was necessarily in the manga, but I came to really enjoy that. The building up, the suspense, the fact that we're with these characters every week and we're waiting for this moment. The tension just continues to rise. I don't get really bored with it. A lot of the newer animes are quicker into their storyline and their plot devices. And I think that they learned that from Dragon Ball Z because of how pivotal and impactful it was. And everything about it was just exciting. My favorite moments in the series are always going to be Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta having their fight. It was always amazing to me. Later, it gets cheapened because I knew, Goku shows that he could have gone Super Saiyan 3 at that time, chose not to, and was just kind of being himself and wanting to have a fight with Vegeta, which is cool and everything. But I was like, man, that is petty. That's just rude, Goku. But Akira Toriyama, man, like, what else can you really say about the GOAT? If you have any comments about what you like about Akira Toriyama, make sure you put that down in the description. Let's go on to the next one. Ichiro Oda, creator of One Piece. Now, I love Akira Toriyama, but here's the thing about Oda. Oda has the best story development, world building that I have personally ever seen. I liken it to a Game of Thrones. I liken it to a Lord of the Rings in terms of creating this vast world where everything kind of plays into each other. And there's a lot of times where, because mangakas are kind of like journalists, they kind of are like comic book makers in a certain way, but on a much stricter timeline. They do still have to deal with editors, and they have a specific editor that works with them. So sometimes there are story things that the mangaka may have wanted to do, but you got to rush it a little bit. You got to get through it. You got to get to the next thing because people are waiting for their conclusion, for the top of their battle. They're waiting for the conclusion, so to speak, to that battle. And so Oda has what I think is just some of the best story building ever. To be this long in the game, and while he's not the longest running series, which I think is still Hajime no Ippo, maybe even Case Closed, I'm not quite sure, but I'll have to look into that. But he has one of the long-standing animes that just hit 1,000 episodes, I think last year. We're at over 1,000, I believe, in the manga. And it's just, or no, we're not over it. We might be. Yeah, whatever. Download the Shonen Jump app. Sponsor me, please. To get more information on that little stuff, but more on One Piece. So I'm not going to like push you into saying that you have to watch it. I'm not one of those people. It's one of the things that I enjoy. It's one of my favorites because I've always enjoyed the just everything about it. My favorite character from One Piece is Ace. Is Ace. I've always enjoyed him. I think that Oda did something really well in creating him and creating that, not linchpin, but plot device for Luffy to gain some seriousness. To know that he needed to be stronger to do the things that he wanted to do, to be Pirate King. It was hurtful because of how cool Ace was and who Ace was. But that kind of storytelling, building up to all of the little pieces of information that we were getting along the way. Knowing that Dragon saved Luffy from Smoker when they were getting away and getting out to sea and heading out to the Red Line. And there was just all of these little things, even the little mentions of Wano way, way back in the day, of Ryuma on Thriller Bark. There's just so many good things that I think that he does, and he does them so well. We love One Piece for that. We love One Piece for his characters. We love One Piece for his character development. The backstories are great, sad, and they rip our hearts out a lot of the time, but they all serve a purpose. And I think he works really hard in creating just this good web of intricacy. So while he may start something 5 years ago and it's just now coming to fruition now, he does tie things together. He does make things bigger and more impactful. So when you're reading, it's a much more enjoyable experience, especially for me. I really enjoyed that about him. I really enjoyed that, he makes me take a second and go back and just kind of see, oh no, that was this. It's masterful in its execution. And, from that book of Akira Toriyama, he was one of those creators that was up there with him. Because One Piece has been going on for a long time as well. And it's just masterful to me. It's one of my favorite series. It's one of the series that I continuously read every week. As you can see on the other videos here, it's either I tell you why you should watch and or read. Because majority of the time a manga's success is tied to whether or not it gets an anime. We've done those kind of discussions. If you want more of those discussions, make sure you check out the podcast and go and listen to some of our older episodes where we break those things down. But Oda is just one of the pivotal people that when you're talking about manga, you're most often going to end up talking about him some way, shape, form, or fashion, because One Piece is just good. And I've also liked how there are certain mangas who get to focus on their specific craft. But yeah, I enjoy One Piece. Who we got next? Masashi Kishi. We got Kishimoto in the building, the creator of Naruto. Another one of my older favorite animes that I used to watch religiously. But once I started reading the manga, which it was Naruto that gave me the next level up. So my first level up was Dragon Ball Z, and learning that these series had been over for a while before they got dubbed and brought over here, and that it wasn't like fresh out the box new and still going on during the time that we were watching them. Naruto was what taught me how far ahead they really were. So it's about 2007. I'm a freshman in college, and I wanted to watch anime. You know, I was watching Toonami. Bleach had just started. Naruto was still in its infancy at that point in time. And so I went to a little website that is no longer around, but it was entitled Otaku Center. Shout out to my Otaku Center people, because a lot of us are still friends on Facebook, and we engage all the time because anime is a strong community. But what happened is I go to this website because I wanted to watch stuff online. I grew up in the Napster and LimeWire era, so at this point you just knew you could get online and try and find things to watch. This is before YouTube was really just popping. Though it was popping in the sense that you go in there and watch everything. But I go to Otaku Center, I end up finding Naruto, and I was like, what is this Naruto Shippuden? And this shows how old I am, and how long ago this was. Naruto was just in the Rescue Gaara arc. There were people that were going online, getting the episodes and translating them. And I think this is around the time that a lot of the visuals started to be more digital. So with this, I was able to see that, like, wait, what? How does this happen? How do we get to here? So I went through and I watched all of Naruto at that point, like everything, because at this point I was also not to the leveling up point of knowing what was canon and what wasn't, what was filler, so on and so forth. So I just watched through the entire Naruto series to get to Shippuden, and started to learn the tight web that was woven over those years to get to these points, to get to where it's like, wait, Naruto looks older? Why? What happened? What's going on? How did we get here? And Kishimoto is just amazing at creating this ninja world and creating those ideals. We all know what battle mangas are. There's a character in the beginning. We want to root for him. He's the underdog. He has some form of a power or something that makes him stronger than anybody else. But he doesn't realize it yet because he has to overcome all kinds of scrutiny. He has to overcome his self. He has to overcome his own doubts. But Naruto was always confident. While he may have gotten scared sometimes, his confidence and his overall energy is what we love about him, is what drove the series, is what continues to drive the series. And I am very, very excited that he's back on Boruto to kind of fix some of the story things and bring that story aspect that he's always brought to the table back to this amazing manga / anime. I'm just really excited about that because it's always cool, even though I think he was ready to retire. And I think that if it had ended the way it ended, I would have been fine with that too. But now that he's back, that's even better, and we're all glad for it. But yeah, so Kishimoto is one of those guys. Kishimoto is just amazing. Shout out to Naruto, shout out to Shippuden, Boruto, and Samurai 8, which is another one that he was doing, which was Space Ninjas, which I wish he would have been able to continue that, but I think he got called back to do Boruto somewhere around that time. So obviously one of those series had to get canceled because, you know, one of them was a little bit more popular. And that's kind of how it works over there. Popularity is what gets a manga an anime, is what keeps a manga going, with the onset of, well, with the exception of when a manga creator is like having health issues or something like that. So who we got next? Next, we have my guy, Tite Kubo. We got Kubo. Kubo Sensei is the creator of Bleach. He also did, oh my gosh, Burn the Witch. Excuse me. Man, major brain freeze there, guys. But he did those two series. Bleach was what changed everything for me. It was the general series that just made me excited to watch. Everything about it was cool. I don't know if it was just the drawing that Kubo does or what, but I was enthralled by the series. Every twist, every turn, every character. There's the only characters that I'm not like interested in are the Bounce arc, which if you know, you know. It's basically the people that are like Cone. I wasn't really interested in that arc, and I was certain it was filler, and came to find out it wasn't, and it was actual canon, and I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. But that's the only arc that I didn't necessarily like, and I know people have had their issues with the series over the years, but Bleach is my favorite. I'm so glad that it's returning or is back currently. And then we're going to get a closeout on a lot of different things that we necessarily didn't like about the ending of the 1,000-year or 10,000-year Blood War arc. I think Kubo's in a better place. I think that we've cleared up a lot of the rumors and things that were going on that, you know, he was in a depressed state and that he didn't get to end Bleach the way he wanted to, but now he's saying he did. And there wasn't as much dysfunction with Shonen Jump. So I'm just excited that he's back and that he's going to end the series in the way that he wants to end the series, in a way that kind of gives us the things that we were kind of missing. And if you have not checked out the one shot that leads back into Bleach being, you know, the king and relevant, you should do that. But I've always enjoyed him and think that it's an amazing, amazing act, the things that he's done. Kubo's one of my favorites. Let's go to the next one. Now, Masami Kurumada did Knights of the Zodiac. I watched a little bit of it, but I literally only watched it to see who Scorpio was, because obviously it's about to be Scorpio season. You dig? But yeah, the reason I put him on this list, and I did put a lot of people on this list that either the animes I'm not that deep into or haven't watched a lot of, because the recognition of the styles that they did and where they were placed during certain time were amazing. Any anime to me that came over to the Western world was great, because that meant your popularity was such that they understood that they needed to bring it over here. Because a lot of times you don't have to leave outside of your own home to do these things. Look at Gautier. There's a lot of people that only know them as somebody I used to know. And you don't even know who that was until I said the song. But there's a larger relevance in the global scale of who they are. The same way that while we may not like soccer here, soccer is a worldwide phenomenon. They were just promoting LeBron's follower counts being more than all the national sports leagues in America combined, whereas, you know, Ronaldo has 350 million followers. So, you know, it's one of those things. And that's why I put that on here. Knights of the Zodiac. So let's go to the next one. So now we're here with Yoshihiro Togashi, who is the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. Guys, look. There's battle manga, and then there's like this guy and his stories. You're immediately drawn in, especially with Yu Yu Hakusho. Hunter x Hunter probably more so because of his health concerns and how long we have to like wait for him to come back and do certain things. I do hope that he gets well soon. But anyway, I digress a little bit just to do that. But Yu Yu Hakusho was amazing. It was one of those series that when I initially watched it, I thought it was going to be like a crime detective thing, and then it just goes into an all out fighting manga that is freaking amazing. You can see the similarities between it and Hunter x Hunter in terms of the powers and things that he creates, in terms of the different scenarios that he sets up. But Yu Yu Hakusho was one of the legends of animation, one of the legends of manga. One of those that I don't know gets as much love as it should, because he is masterful in his battles, in his villains, in his power-ups, in there being, variety to them, and there being purpose to them. Yusuke was Yoromeshi, was just another kind of guy. He's cool with his pompadour in this way, in his little pompadour style hair, his slick back way, the spirit gun, and bringing along his friends, allowing them to get stronger and just be exciting. And then he ends on a good note. He ends on that note that is really, really difficult for all of us battle manga lovers. Because here's the thing with battle manga, and especially the thing that I enjoyed about Yoshihiro Togashi. A lot of the times, the relationships and things that pop up in mangas of a battle manga type are there for fan service. They're not really there to go deeper into that relationship unless it befits the story. But for the most part, that's not really going to be something that they keep there, because that's not something that they really care about. But Yoshihiro Togashi, at the end of at least the anime, Yusuke does get together with his longtime love, or at least comes to see her. And I think it was such a cool nod that didn't have to be all that much. That didn't have to be like a next series, a next chapter, or something of that nature. But it was still something that I think was worth it. And that's all we ask a lot of times. If you just give us a little nod. If at the end of One Piece, Luffy somehow, like Goku and Chi-Chi, like, you come out of here nowhere, or you come out of nowhere and Goku has a kid, and you're like, wait, what? But it makes sense in a cool nodding way, because they were trying to go to the next chapter. So if you give us something like that with Luffy, I think it'll be really, really cool. I doubt that we get it, because most battle makers, like I said, don't care about the relationships. They're literally just there for fan service, or to push a different joke or something like that. But I love him. And also, the other thing that's cool about Yoshihiro Togashi that you may not know is that he is married to the next one, which is Naoko Taguchi, the creator of Sailor Moon. Another amazing anime that broke down doors, that changed things up forever, that gave us the magical girl genre, I believe. And there may have been one before it, but she is the king and queen and stands atop her throne that will not be dethroned by anybody. Because funny enough, she's I like calling her the Nicki Minaj of creators in that regard, just because Sailor Moon was impactful for its time. It brought the magical girl thing to a popularized America and stands the test of time. Even in the remasters, even in the recreations, you were ready to see everything that was going on with this series. It was a preteen's dream. It was a girl's superhero that wasn't just, pretty to be pretty, but otherworldly strong. The amount of feats that Sailor Moon can do, she's definitely often used in different battles, in terms of like not an RPG, but an anime tournament style. She's used because of how OP she is. And I've always thought it was so cool that these two creators were married, because, like, how do you get that much greatness in one house? I do hope that she maybe is supposed to be continuing Hunter x Hunter for her husband. If that happens, that's going to be amazing because I think that she's always been good at storytelling, which is something that I always value is great storytelling in my mangas because it allows us a place to kind of grow and we feel very, very connected to these characters. But Sailor Moon was amazing. Again, I reiterate to you, if you have other creators and people that you like, or you agree with anything that I'm saying, make sure you're down in those comments or down in those, you see, I'm trying to, down in the comments, down. Oh, okay. But again, it's dangerous to go alone. So I brought you guys. But yeah, down in the comments, make sure you're continuing the conversation because I'll be there too. To the next one. Man, what up do I? Makoto Yukimura. Vinland Saga. Amazing. Haven't read it yet. Watched it, saw it, thought it was cool. Also, I did this because it's also cool to like see the creators, and I thought you guys might get a kick out of this too. So, you know, that's why he's here, and I'm gonna watch Vinland Saga and or read it very, very, very soon. Next one is Hideki Anno. He did Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay. Here's my thing with this series. It was too much for me. What he does, and there's this excellent video over on Dorkly about when one of the hosts explains the deepness of this series. It's something that you should go check out. So just put in Dorkly Neon Genesis Evangelion. I guarantee you it'll pop up. And it was just about the articulation of depression. And when you look at this series and how this series can make you feel and where this series can take you, that ain't no joke. That ain't no lie. Man, it took me some places that I was not ready to go. It made you immediately feel like sometimes that there was no hope. Because the way that they set this series up with all of the different issues and things that were going on with the main characters, family issues, you know, relationship issues, just self-esteem issues, on top of coming into this thinking it was similar to a Gundam Wing. So you would think that you're coming in here like, okay, they're going to get these fighting robot machines and then they're just going to beat whatever the bad guys are. There's going to be some bad times, sure, but there's not going to be a lot of times where we're just like, wait, what's going on? And that's what this series is it takes that turn of what's going on. And it wants you to examine that. It wants you to look at it. It wants you to see the deepness of human emotion and what war does to you, what being disconnected or having a tumultuous, a terrible, because God, I butchered that word, a terrible relationship with your father or you know, how damaging that can be. When you're faced and put in a situation where you have to overcome the odds. That's what he did. Now, does it make me sad? Yes, it makes me sad in a lot of different ways. But do I think that it's worth it? I think that there are a lot of animators or a lot of creators, a lot of manga artists who know the value of emotion, who knows how to take them, craft them, and put them in a place where you are going to enjoy them. And he did that, and that's something that I think is really, really amazing. And yeah, it's dope. So who we got in the next one? We got Rumiko Takahashi, the creator of Inuyasha, and I think that's Renma 1.5. I think I did this last time in the stream that wasn't a stream because it didn't stream. But Inuyasha was one of the best things in the world for me because I got my relationship stuff in the middle of a battle manga, and that is super duper great. when you get the relationship stuff, for me, it rounds everything out. It rounds the story, the motivations out. Like, even if it's, you don't have to like have a full on relationship. Like somebody has to be with somebody or whatever. But when you build those connections, it's the same thing as, Nami yelling out, "I want to live." When you give us those connecting points of personal interaction, it builds things up. It makes us be like, oh no, this is it. This is the next phase in the story. This is where we know that the main character or hero or heroine are going to level up because you've now messed with their loved one. So Inuyasha just has some big overarching things that I think that we really enjoy about it. I'm going to do a deeper dive into Inuyasha over on over on that podcast there. So make sure you subscribe because I'm going to have a special guest in for that one. Let's go to the next one, which is Atsuchi Okubo, who did Soul Eater and Fire Force. I love his animation style. I love the characters that he makes, the way he weaves his stories between hilarity and seriousness, where there's something that he has a journey that he wants us to ride on that is going to lead us to a great place. But all the while, we're going to have fun. We're going to laugh about it. We're going to join hands with the main characters. We're going to watch them grow. We're going to watch them fail. But all the while, we're going to stay engaged. We're not going to disengage. We're not going to look away at the hard parts, because that's the way that he writes these things. Like, there are fights where you're like, oh man, like I am very scared for whoever, but they overcome it. Or you have a villain that seems like a villain, but wasn't. And now we come to like that person and you bring them into the fold. Or you make somebody who is completely and utterly despicable and you make them strong, but you make the main character have to chase after them in a way that will show them that you can't always sit on the fence, or you have to stand firm in your convictions. And I think he does an excellent job with that, especially in Fire Force recently. Like, standing on your convictions and standing on doing what's right is something that I think that he does exceptionally well. So let's go to the next one, which is Haruchi Furudate. Who knew that a lady do high Q? See what I do? I tried. That was a good joke, but I messed it up. But anyway, sports anime. And y'all know how I love sports anime. Y'all know that I love Our Shield 21. We're continuously talking about it. It's an amazing anime. But to know that this lady did Haikyuu, one of the best sports mangas and animes that I think that we've gotten in a long time, where we're riding along with this team for the long haul, man. And it's different. Like, mangas make sports even more interesting than what they already are. And I talked about this the other day with Prima Diva, but it's because some people will not watch baseball because there's not enough tension. They're waiting on, the playoffs or something like that. What I think manga does with sports is it's always that tension of the playoffs. So it always makes it interesting. We laugh at the different conversations and things that they're having. It's like, man, this game would have been over a long time ago. Like, how are they able to stay in the air for 30 minutes, having these thoughts? But getting those inner monologues in a sports anime are what builds up that anticipation. So we're in a continual state of playoff basketball, baseball, volleyball, whatever. And it's just amazing. And she's one of those amazing creators because, like I said, Haikyuu is amazing. It's one of the kings of sports anime right now. And I think that that's just something to behold. And let's go to the next one, which is Yusei Matsui, who did Assassination Classroom. Another animation style that I really enjoy, and another premise that, like, making kids become assassins to save the world. It sounds crazy, but it's an amazing manga, an amazing anime, amazing execution, characters that you immediately pull into, that you just are like, oh no, this is something different. This is a whole nother level of amazing, because you ride along with these characters and you're like, it's Dexter. It is the schoolhouse version of making a whole bunch of Dexters, but Dexters with a cause. They're not just murderous serial killers. They are assassins for a cause, and they're only assassins to one person. But still, the intensity of it, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, Yusui Matsui, it's a great guy. Let's go to the next one, which is my guy, Tape Nagatsuki, the creator of ReZero, which you know how Primitive and I feel about ReZero. If you don't know, then you need to go over here, right there. You see that guy? You see that guy? You need to go to Gray Area Anime. Check out the podcast where we watch ReZero. We watched the director's cut. We then watch season 2 on into season 3. And we give our thoughts on it. We break down where we think the story is going, because this dude here is on a whole nother level. And I feel like he's inspired so many different places, people, things. If you ever went to watch the movie Happy Death Day, I feel like it is purely inspired from ReZero. I think they just literally took the plot, or at least the mechanics of ReZero, and threw it into their movie. But I love it. It is my all-time favorite light novel anime currently, because this one isn't even a manga. It's a light novel. Like, he just writes words and I'm here for it. And I mean, he does the drawings for his characters as well, but this light novel is something that is special. It does so many things on just all the different levels that I am pleased and amazed that, you know, he does this. And he does it so well. He's building this wonderful world that when you read it, each character matters. And each character matters in a way of just their importance to Subaru. And I'm Team Rim, by the way. I love Amelia Tan to death, but as you know, I love it so much, it's on my soundboard. Oh, that's from ReZero. And whenever you heard that sound, it was about to get real serious. But yeah, man, I've always been a fan of his. From the first watch of episode 1, I was just hooked, and I had so many questions. And I liked how they did the director's cut to add characters in, to change things around, to give us just the fullness of this series, which hadn't really planned, I think, on getting to season 2, because the way they ended it would have made you think that everything was okay. And then season 2 comes and you're like, oh no. So yeah, it's one of my favorites. Let's go to the next one, which is Hiromashima, the creator of Fairy Tail. I love Fairy Tail. It is the father of Black Clover. I don't care what you say. It's the father of Black Clover. Like, Black Clover is good. Asta can be annoying sometimes, but Fairy Tail is dope. You know, Natsu, Lucy, Happy, Gray, which is the most. Can I talk? Can I talk right? Gray is the most amazing character. Why? Because I'm a nice guy. I didn't tell you guys. So Shiro in Bleach is my favorite, and so is Gray in Fairy Tail. And his name is Gray. And I mean, come on. Gray Area Anime. What's in a name? But we love Fairy Tail over here. And I know you guys do too. Let's go to the next manga creator, which is Hiromu Aracara, the creator of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist. Listen. If you have not watched either, where are you and why? You're missing out. And I know a lot of people say that. Like, a lot of people say you're missing out on Squid Games. You can watch it. You cannot watch Squid Games. You can read Dead Man Wonderland if you want the feel of Squid Games. If you have not seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I think you're just tripping. I think you're missing it. Because there's nothing in this series that's not going to take you on a ride. It's a thrill ride. It's a thrill ride. You lose characters that you didn't expect to lose. You gain friends, you gain powers, and all the while, we're rolling around with the Elric brothers, hoping that they get to their destination, and they will. And we ride along with them for it. And I think you should ride along with us too, because it's so good. It's just amazing, guys. It's freaking amazing. Join us. Join us, I say, if you haven't watched it. On to the next one, which is Takahiro. Now, he's on here because he did a Kamega kill, and I want to fight him. Because listen, man, I wasn't ready for all the emotions and watching this. It's about assassins in the middle of a war. And then what you did to me, Takahiro Sensei? Takahiro Senpai. I don't know that I can forgive you, sir. Akame Got Killed is really dope. I think his animations are really cool. I think his animations are worth it, so to speak. And it's just really dope. So, you know, let's go to the next one, which is Kohei Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia, which is another amazing anime that I think is inspired by a lot of things. If you were a kid who watched Disney back in the day, maybe 15 years ago, and there was a movie that came out called Sky High. This is basically Sky High on steroids with way better characters and a way more amazing story. Argue with your mamas if you disagree. You feel me? But My Hero Academia is obviously amazing. I love Deku. I love the purpose of when an underdog gets the power to save people, how do they deal with that? How do you go about doing it in this world where everybody gets superpowers? Do you go out and save the world? Do you go and just try to do your day to day? You know, is that what you go and do? Like, the intricacy and the complex devices of if everybody gained powers. You know, there are people who decide to save other people from people with powers, and then there are people who go and do regular jobs. Then there are the people who their power might not be that great, but they still want to do something. In My Hero Academia Vigilante, that's something that they address. And I think that they've built out a great world. They built out great characters, great friendships. I am sad that it's coming to an end here soon, or at least that's the talk that's been going around, that is entering its final arc. Because it's been a great pleasure to kind of ride along with this series. And I kind of wanted to get the Shippuden treatment and see what they would be like as adults and see what they were going to face, which is never out of the question, because when there's a popularity increase of these things, you can get second parts of series and things of that nature. You just got to go out and support. You got to go out and buy the books. You got to go out, pay for Shonen Jump, buy the merch, support the artists, so that way you can get a season 2 and get pushed in other things, because, you know, that's how you do it. But yeah, I love My Hero Academia. Let's go to the next one. Hajime Isayama, who is the creator of Attack on Titan, another Titan in the industry. I think he is I'm not going to call him the king of political dramas, but that's what Attack on Titan turned out to be is a huge political drama that addressed a lot of different issues that you should really check it out. It's got that Game of Thrones-esque feel. And whenever I say Game of Thrones-esque feel, I always mean that if there's a character you like, they just might die. And they just might die very quickly at a time you weren't expecting them to, in a moment you weren't expecting them to. And it pulls you in. It sucks you in so that way you want just a little bit more. You feel me? But yeah, that's Attack on Titan. Let's go to the next one, which is Nakaba Suzuki, he is 100% inspired by Akira Toriyama. If he says he's not, he's lying, but I'm pretty sure he knows it because his drawing style is remnant of Akira Toriyama in his older days. It's remnant of Dragon Quest, which is again remnant of Akira Toriyama. But I love Seven Deadly Sins, which is the anime. Excuse me. Which is the manga that he does. The distinction I continue to make about the manga anime thing is because the creators are on the team sometime, but an animation company does, like Toei Animation does a lot of the different bigger companies. It does One Piece. I believe they did Dragon Ball or are doing Dragon Ball Super. But there are different animation companies, and so they do the animations, but the creators are doing the mangas. They're not normally a part of it. They might be a part of like story stuff that they want to reveal in the anime that they don't necessarily reveal in the manga because they have more time and a bigger frame of reference in creating their world visually so that you can see it. So I want to make sure I made that distinction. But yeah, so I'm going to end on him this week, and we're gonna do some more. We're gonna do a part 2 probably tomorrow, and we'll get some more manga creators and stuff in there. I had fun doing this. I hope you guys have fun. Like the video if you did. It'll help me out a lot. Do some comments, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you can get notified whenever I go live, because it's going to be an amazing time. And I know you're going to have fun with it because I always have fun with it. But yeah, so you go and do that. Make sure you do that. And we'll come back here again. It's a 1 and a 2, and peace until next week. Yeah, and that's the end of like the recording. But of course, I'm going to stay here with you guys and chop it up till the end of the timing. How are you guys doing today? That's going to be my new setup. So every day that I come in and record, I'm going to do a little bit of recording for the YouTube channels, which I'm still going to engage with you guys. If you are in the chat and you're coming in and you're engaged and want to chat, we're going to chat with you while we do these things. And then the videos are going to be posted every Monday. So, shout me out. If you text us, not text us. If you're in the comments, I will shout you out is what I'm trying to say. Because we are working on our follower count. We've gotten up to 13 followers, which is really, really good. I am very, very excited about that. And we're growing. We're growing steadily, slowly but steadily. And I'm cool. Because like I said, it is dangerous to go alone. So I choose you guys. Come along with me. Come along on this ride. Thank you for coming along on this ride. It's very much appreciated because it's just cool. It's cool to kind of build this community. If you love anime, if you love just the I'm making up words. I'm so making words up. But if you like anime, that's what we're here for. We're here to do anime. We're here to talk about anime. We're here to love on anime and to just, have fun. And I have fun with you guys. I have a lot of fun. And I hope you have fun with me. I hope you have fun with the chat. We're going to continue getting better, continue growing. Yeah. I don't really know what else to, I don't know what else to say. So I'll just play music and talk to you guys, because that kind of helps me focus a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And it's stuff from my music, which I also do music. So if you, I changed up my about section. So I've gotten my panels together, at least my initial panels, before I get some Kirby inspired panels or something like that. So I got that stuff together. I hope you out there enjoy them. So you can follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Each platform, social platform, will have like different content specified for that place. So you should check them out. Basically, it's saying it's gonna be cool stuff everywhere, and this stuff is free to you. Doesn't cost you a thing, because I don't want building a community to cost people things. I want it to just be fun, and that's what this is. This is fun. You guys have been fun, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at noon Pacific time. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. So I'm gonna let y'all rock out to some music. I'll still be in here working on a couple little things. So if you're chatting to me, I'm here. Just let me know you're here too. Peace out, guys.